Hello, welcome, virgins. Oh, now who said that? Okay, first of all, I don't know how much of my demographic, how many of my demographic, how many, okay. I don't know how many people in said demographic, as in mine, rough as rats, Maisie Fullers. When I say my name like that, like, you know what I think about a lot? Oh my gosh, I'm already getting off track, but let me just say this quick before I forget, because chances are I will. But when I think about my name, I think about it in the credits of a film, and I think about it on a film poster. Because Maisie Fuller, yeah, that's a generational run of a name. Maisie F.L. Fuller. Because I was thinking the other day, if I played at Soccer Aid, which I cannot confirm or deny my appearance at the next Soccer Aid, but I thought, Soccer Aid, would I have on my jersey Maisie F.L. or would I have Fuller? I think I'd have to have Maisie F.L. because that's what I'm like. My brother, my middle brother Alex, the one with all the bloody cars, he is known exclusively by his friends, his school friends, as Fuller. They don't know him as anything else. So much so that one of his friends' dad, because we see him, it's all connected, okay? This is a small fucking town, right? But we saw him the other day and he said that he actually forgot what my brother's name was. And he went through the whole alphabet and I said, his name begins with an A. I said, you didn't have to go far. But because everyone called him Fuller at school, that's all he's known as. Whereas me, obviously, FL is like my whole thing, like my middle names, which people always, I've spoken about this before, people always assume that FL is me shortening down Fuller, but it's not. My middle names begin with F and L. I've got two middle names. They're SNL. Hello and welcome to Saturday Night Live. Anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. I would love to be a virgin, okay? I would actually do a lot to erase my sexual history and start fresh. And by start fresh, I think I would never have sex. Genuinely. Don't get me wrong. I have had, out of all of my sexual encounters, I would say maybe, I don't even know how many people I've slept with. It's in the late teens. I think it's like 16 people. But I think out of 16, I would say maybe one or two of them were actually good. I actually think only one or two men have made me orgasm. Orgasm. Oh my god, I was trying to avoid saying it out loud. From like penetrative sex. The rest of it, it's like either no one's coming or it's when I get my box 8. Okay, not even 3 minutes in and I'm already talking about getting my box 8. Okay, give a bitch some head or something. I have a story to tell you about that. I actually have so many things on the forefront of my mind. I don't know how to like unmuddle it. Like I don't know how to like get it. I don't know. Basically, I haven't written anything down for this episode because I thought let it come straight off the dome, which is never ever a good idea because I just do not have a coherent thought in my head. Like there's no way of like breaking stuff down in my head unless I write things down. Like the other day I had a really, I say the other day, it was yesterday. I had a bit of a bad day yesterday, not for any real reason. I just felt really down. And recently I've been really trying to like not let my anxiety win by being like, okay, just only worry about things you can control. Like only don't stress about things you can't control. And I saw this thing on TikTok and I was saying this on TikTok Live, which I will get into the TikTok Live that I had last night, which really turned my day around as well because it was nearly 3 hours long. I felt like those people that are on TikTok Live all day just selling stuff from TikTok Shop, which don't even piss me off. Anyway, so yeah, I saw this thing on TikTok that was like, if you got given, like, I can't even remember the amount, but it was like, if you got given £84,000 and someone took £60 of it, would you throw away the £83,940 you had left, or would you just keep it? Let's all be very serious. Let's not just say something silly just to try and be different. We'd all take the money, right? So it was like this whole thing of like, if you have a 60-second interaction or a 60-second thought or something like that, that like you are like, oh, that thought or that worry or that interaction is going to ruin my day. It's 60 seconds out of your whole day. Why would you throw the whole day away when you can just like try and claim it back and take the rest of the day and do whatever with it? And I thought to myself, now that is a great way of thinking, but I also am incapable of thinking that way because the moment something bad happens, that's my day gone. That's my day gone. And I admit defeat so quickly, which is why I'm really trying at the moment to like say, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Just have the bad time, have the bad thought, have the bad makeup day. That's what really was the nail in the coffin yesterday. Have the bad makeup day and then move on, you know? But honestly, everything's coming from the top of the dome. And yesterday when I was on TikTok Live, I was so behind with replying to comments. Like, people were like commenting in the chat, and I think I had like 40 comments at one point, to the point where some bot said, oh, she's making up comments. And I said, what? And then someone else was like, oh, half of the, oh my God, of course, this is actually just poetic, isn't it? Hello?
Well, I won't bother asking what you want your fucking pizza then.
Don't what? I'm gonna, why are you coming to me like that?
Well, you just said it's absolute.
Yeah, because it's every single time. It's every single time.
Well, you don't do it any time then. How's that?
Oh my gosh. If you're gonna, right, bye. Goodbye. Bye. I'm actually getting mogged by my own. I actually have no words for that. Steve Poogan just moves like crazy. Imagine working with that 5 days a week. Okay? Imagine. Anyway, I was on TikTok Live, and someone was like, to be fair, I can't see half of the comments you're reading, and it was because I was so behind. So it sounded like they were made up, and also like, this is gonna sound really bad, okay? So just hear me out, cake. But a couple of the comments were people complimenting how I looked, because yesterday I had a really bad makeup day, and then I slicked back my hair. This is the thing, when I first put makeup on, it never looks that good. When my makeup marinades all day, that's when it looks its best. And I'm just thinking, what are we doing? But anyway, so I slicked my hair back, put some hoops in, and all the comments were like, you look really good. Well, a few of the comments were like, you look really good. But I genuinely felt like, you know, that trend on TikTok that's like reading fake comments on a live. And that is literally what it was like. I was like, oh, you're so pretty. And then I was sat there and I was like, oh my God, that just sounds like I've made it up. And then I was getting really self-conscious that everyone thought I was making up comments. But one of the comments that I did actually get was someone saying, do you have ADHD? Not in a mean way. And I said, oh my gosh, yeah, I do. And it was funny because just literally maybe minutes, I don't even know at this point, I've lost track of time. But before someone commented that, I was talking about how I'm on ADHD medication and I don't think it's doing anything because the dosage is so low, because it's 20 milligrams. And I've said before, like, what is that going to do to this big ass body of mine? Like, nothing. It's going to do nothing anyway. So yeah, I've got no real script today, just kind of talking about what's been going on. Obviously I didn't post a TikTok hello, what am I talking about? I didn't post a podcast episode last week because I'll be honest with you, I've had a lot going on. Not even a lot, but I've just been very busy, and next week is even busier. I genuinely have plans every single day, which is giving me like hives because I'm not used to that. Normally I have like at least one day where I'm like, I'm on my own, and then I'll inevitably see Tilly because I love my own company, but recently I'm just like, oh, I kind of need to be occupied at all times so I don't have a panic attack. Love my life. Anyway, so yeah, I am so busy next week. But also what's crazy is like, even when I'm busy or when I'm not busy, like my days recently have been so up and down. Like there have been some really, really good days I've had recently, and I'm like, oh my God, that was a good ass day and I'm really happy. And then the next couple of days I'm so sad. But then I guess that's kind of the beauty of having depression, right? Right, you guys, right? Anyone else can relate? No? Yes or no? Drop me a comment, yes or no. But honestly, oh my God, I've just thought I had another comment to make about my virgin sort of like soliloquy. But I was just thinking, when me and my ex-boyfriend, not the one that I was just in a relationship with, the one before, I'm gonna yawn. Ooh, sorry. But the one I was with before, I saw this thing when we split up, this was in 2020, being like, every 7 years your cells regenerate, so like you're like a completely new being again or some bullshit. And I remember that was like the only thing that could get me through the breakup with him. I was like, oh, in 7 years he would have never touched me, which is so depressing to think about. But it actually almost has been 7 years. So, oh my God, that's actually terrifying. Oh, cradling my head. That's so scary. I don't want to think about that. But it's true. It has almost been 7 years since that happened. So that's crazy. Yeah, that's reason to celebrate anyway. Let me tell you my funny story that I had while it's on the top of my dome still. So yesterday, was it yesterday? I can't even remember all the days are merging into one, but I think it was yesterday. I went on TikTok on Maisie Supreme, and I made a TikTok a couple of days ago that was to the sound "Give a bitch some head" or some, which is why it reminded me of this story when I said it. But this is really bad. I went on to no, it's not even bad. I went on to TikTok and it said that someone had liked my post, like my video, and normally like it just bunches together a load of names unless it's like someone that you follow and they follow you, like it'll be like a standout notification, and this was a standout notification that a man had liked my video, and I thought, oh my god, I recognize that man. So I looked on his account. From your contacts, doesn't follow me, I don't follow him, but obviously he's from my contacts, so it got like its own separate like tab on the notification screen. And I think to myself, that is a man that I matched with from Hinge in 2022. No word of a lie. Why am I yawning again? Well, I can tell you why, I'm tired, but no word of a lie, I matched with him in 2022, and I'm thinking, okay, you've liked my video, the video of me saying give a bitch some head or something. That is a video you've liked. And I was like, I'm worried now. What is like the discourse that's going to follow this? Naturally, not even 5 minutes later, he's added me on Snapchat. And he's saved in my phone as his name, Hinge. As not like, that isn't his name. Like, I've saved his first name and then Hinge next to it, okay? But I don't want to out him because I don't want that. Like, I don't want that smoke, you know? And then he messaged me and he put TikTok famous. And I said, always been TikTok famous. And he said, no, hun. When a straight man calls you hun, I'm thinking, are you enjoying this month? We're in the month of June, if you weren't aware. Are you enjoying this month? Anyway, so he said, no, you weren't. Like, I knew you 4 years ago. And I said, you only want to talk to me now I'm famous. And he said, no, I don't. I was speaking to you 4 years ago. And I said, whatever. In the end, I just thought, nah. Because he asked me, he was like, oh, give a bitch some head or something. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, convenient video to like. And he was like, let me help you out with that. And I thought, let me think about it. No. So that happened. But even when it happened, I thought to myself, what is life? What is life? Why have you done that? Why have you done that? Honestly, give me a reason now. Why have you done that? I can't be bothered. I don't want to know. I don't want to be part of this. Let me remove myself from this situation. Sorry, I literally can't stop yawning. I don't know what it's. I've actually had a bit of a crazy day. Well, not even a crazy day, but I woke up really early. And I went to bed quite late. I think I went to bed at like 11:30. That's not even that late. But for me, that feels very late, okay? I think I went to bed at 11:30 and I woke up at 7 because today I went out to London town, and I got should I say, it's kind of it's not even a surprise, but I did something for vlog 300, which is coming up next week, which is super exciting. I still can't believe I've vlogged 300 like separate videos. I've filmed and edited 300 separate videos all myself. All of this is a one woman show. No one's ever edited a vlog for me. Think about that. I've edited myself over 300 times, and that's just vlogs. That's not even podcasts. That's not when I used to do like 3 episodes of a Sims Let's Play. That's not when I was doing like book videos, which I still need to get back into making book videos, but everything just feels like a bit of a chore at the moment. Not even a chore, but I'm just like, I'm not that motivated. I'm yawning again. Stop. Okay. I'm just not that motivated at the moment, which is a bit annoying, but like, it's one of those things, isn't it? At the end of the day, you can't help yourself. Sometimes you just don't feel it. When you feel it, you feel it. And when you don't, you don't. So that's as simple as it is. But obviously 300 vlogs, crazy. So I was like, I kind of want to do something like fun for it. So I went out in London and I actually had one of the nicest days I've had in a while. It was beautiful weather. It was really sunny, but it wasn't boiling hot. And I just kind of did all my favourite things. I was going to go for lunch, but But then I was like, no, that's expensive. So I got a Co-op cheese twist. What the fuck do you know about a Co-op cheese twist? They are my favourite. I love a Co-op cheese twist. Oh my gosh. No other supermarket even touches them. And I got a Mubu, and I sat in Regent's Park and I read my book, because I've just started today, while I was on the train, I started Dolly Alderton's Good Material, because I read her book Ghosts. I devoured that book and it was really good. I really like her fiction and I like her non-fiction. I need to read everything I know about love, but I've read her Dear Dolly, like, agony aunt book, which I really liked. Honestly, guys, at the moment I've been tearing through the books, because obviously I deleted Hinge and Tinder, God bless, and I didn't just delete the app, I deleted my actual profile on Hinge so that I wasn't tempted to, oh my gosh, sorry, I wasn't tempted to re-download it. And it's been serving me very well. I've been reading more. Like yesterday I went and sat and I journaled in the library, and I've just realised there was a train of thought that I didn't finish earlier, but when I was saying that everything in my head, the only way I can like de-jumble it is by writing it down. Yesterday I sat in the library and I just wrote down everything that was making me anxious, all of the things that I want to do, no matter how big or small. So it would be like a day trip to Paris, or like a trip to New York, or move out to London, like whatever. So that's been making me feel better. And I don't know, I just feel like I've been putting time back into myself again. I went to the gym for the first time in a month the other day, which is just shocking for me. But honestly, I don't know, after my holiday, I just really couldn't be asked. I don't know why I'm yawning again. You know what's crazy? If I wasn't filming a podcast, I would not be yawning this much. Oh, my belly's poking out. I have a story about that as well. Oh my gosh. Let me just finish this one story first before I hop on to another. But honestly, I had such a good day. Read my book in the park, really enjoyed it. Like I said, tearing through books, just finished Loved One the other day, and it was really, like, it made my heart ache. That was how good the writing was. And I didn't know, but the author was a writer on Parks and Recreation and Hacks, so it makes sense that she wrote a fucking great book. But that book really got me. Like, I want to do a video about the 10 best books I've read so far in 2026, and I was like, oh, I'll do 5 non-fiction, 5 fiction. And I could only think of like my 4 favourite fiction. Like, there was other books that were good, but not like books that I'd be like, you know, writing home about, you know, whatever. And then I finished Loved One, and before I'd even finished it, I knew it would be the 5th book for non-fiction, because it was so good. I literally read it in less than 2 days. I think I started it on Thursday morning and I finished it Friday afternoon. Yeah, less than 2 days. It was crazy. It was so good. Honestly, could not recommend enough. But yeah, I started reading a new book in the park. Well, no, I'd already started it. I started it on the train. So mysterious. Oh my gosh. Why is no one falling in love with me? No, who the hell? And then I went to Goodge Street, which is low-key one of my favourite places in London. I don't even know what it is. It's got such a great Waterstones near the station. Nice pubs. Nice little high street, and it's super duper close to Victoria, so you're like right in the rustle and bustle. You've got the West End and all the rest, you know. It's like, that is the West End, right? I don't know. Anyway, so got off at Goodge Street, went to Waterstones, had a little look around. Then I sat in the Waterstones cafe and I had a pineapple lemonade, because I was like, oh, I have to get something if I'm going to sit here. And at first it tasted of nothing until I got like halfway through it and I was like, this was a waste of money. And then I gave it a proper like good shake and whirl around, and then it was really nice, and I thought PMO. And in that Waterstones, oh my god, so I was sat on a table facing like this way, and then there was a man sat on the table opposite me facing this way. When I tell you, a generational lenger, well dressed, like good looking face, full head of hair. And that's a key thing for me. After I thought I was in love with a bald man when I was 20. I was gonna say, don't even get me started. We could probably touch on that a bit, but anyway, I don't want to touch on that. Hell no, I never even slept with him. Can you imagine 3 months of hard graft with this man? Longer than 3 months. Way longer than 3 months. Anyway, so I was sat opposite him and I literally thought to myself, you are a generational lenger. His friend was sat next to him doing work as well on his laptop. But then he got up and faced the other way and like stood up on his laptop on like this sort of high like island chairs, like table, like arrangement that's in the window in a cafe. And I thought, that's devastating. I was really looking forward to reading my book, but also just staring at your face. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh, it was like 3 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I kind of need to go home because I don't want to be in London really late, and also like I needed to film this podcast even though I could not be bothered to film it. And then I just got a surge of motivation out of nowhere, out of nowhere, and I was thinking, thank you God, like I love when this happens. Anyway, and so part of me, oh, okay, we're not gonna do this again. We're not, because this has happened last time with my podcast with James, and then I was editing it back and I didn't realise at all that I was out of focus most of the time, and I was so angry, so unbelievably angry. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, I was debating, I was like, should I go up to him, because he had no rings on, okay, I'd already checked. I was like, should I go up to him and be like, hey, like, you're Leng, are you single? But then I remembered the last time that I approached a man, he asked me to dance with him. We chatted for half an hour. I thought he was really good looking. And then he told me he had a girlfriend. And I thought, maybe I'd never ever want to go near a man ever again, actually, thinking about it. So I thought, there's no way I'm approaching you. And also, like, I've kind of taken this vow of celibacy since my nipple piercing, because every single thing I do is now either post or pre-nipple piercing. So I'm like, when did this happen? Was it pre-nipple piercing? Was it post-nipple piercing? Post-nipple piercings, re-piercing. Anyway, I am like celibacy, deleted Hinge, deleted dating apps. And like the only way I would go on a date is if I met someone like just out and about and they asked me out. I don't think I would ask a man out, because at this point it does just feel like you're trying to humiliate me. It does just feel like a very personal, sad, scary attack, and I don't want that. You know, I really don't want that. So I thought, no, I'm not asking you if you're single, because also this man has eyes, okay? I look, okay, and I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, but you probably hate to hear it. I look Leng, okay? I look really good today. Slicked back my hair, which is kind of a criminal offence, because I slicked it back yesterday as well, and I only washed it on Friday night. It's Sunday. I slicked back my hair the day after I washed it, because I washed it and I was like, oh, this will be perfect, it'll last a week, but it was not looking good. Like, it was looking actually, I hate to say it, but pretty bad. And I was thinking to myself, why does it look bad? Why? It's because I didn't use purple shampoo. God forbid. I didn't use purple shampoo the last time I washed it, because I'm like, I'm scared that I'm going to use too much purple shampoo before I go back to the hairdressers. And last time I went to the hairdresser, my hairdresser Hannah, she was like, your hair is really silver at the end still, so if I wanted to go like a creamier shade of blonde, she wouldn't have been able to do it, because it would have been hard to tone it. So now I'm like, I don't want to make her job even harder. Not that I ever go a creamy shade of blonde, I always go like a silvery, really like bright blonde, but that's not the point. I don't want to make her life harder. So my hair's a bit yellowy, and then obviously my roots are growing through, so I've slicked back my hair. But I thought to myself, I look really fucking Leng today. I look really good. My outfit looks good. I look pretty cool at the best of times, but reading in a bookshop with a little cold drink, like, come on now, that's an invitation to say Bella, you know? Anyway, in the end, I thought, you have eyes. If you've seen me for a while, because he walked past me, I walked past again. I thought, you've seen me, you've noticed me, you've looked at me a few times, you have eyes. You're either A, taken, or B, gay, okay? There's no other way about it. There's no way around it. And do not even suggest that there could be a C, that he was not feeling me, he was not attracted to me, because are you mental? Are you mental? Are you mad? That's not even slightly even possible to be an option. So I just thought, okay, I'm not going to say anything to you. This could just be a lovely little moment in Waterstones. I think it was Gower Street. It's a really nice Waterstones. They've got a really nice photo booth in there. I thought we could just have this moment, you know, the perfect little, I saw him, he saw me, silly prick didn't say anything. So then when I left, I was walking, like the way I was going was going to walk past the window where he was sat, and so I walked past. I didn't walk, I strutted. I had Skepta in my ear. I was thinking about my husband, and I thought, you can watch me walk away. You hate to see me go, but you love to watch me leave. Like, because I had, like, the trousers weren't low rise, but you could see my back tattoos, and I thought, you've just made the biggest mistake of your life. You're wondering where this generational Leng has gone. Like, you're never going to see this levels of Leng again. You might, but it's not hello, it's not a guarantee, it's not a certainty. Nothing is certain. So I'm sorry for your loss. That's all I could say. I'm sorry for your loss. But honestly, then I came back on the train. I had to have a wee because I was literally, the moment I left WH Smith, hello, Waterstones, I was like, why did I not wee in there? Because I was dying for a piss, but I didn't go. Went on the train, and then I sat and read the whole train ride home. So I'm already 138 pages into this book, which I am loving. I'm really enjoying it. It's called Good Material. It's about like kind of a failing stand-up comedian, and he's going through a breakup. His girlfriend of nearly 4 years just breaks up with him kind of randomly one day, and he's like grieving. He kind of, like, when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, you kind of sound like the worst, and then other times I'm like, oh, I kind of feel bad for you. But it is like a very accurate portrayal and description of going through a breakup. Obviously it's from a male's perspective, but it's a female author, so it's quite an interesting sort of thing she's got going on. But reading it, I was like, oh my god, it just takes you back to like how fragile and vulnerable you feel after a breakup, like realizing and like it going over and over again in your head. You're like, oh, I'm never going to see them again, or I might not see them again, or I'm never going to have these experiences with them again, or these memories or whatever. And then like it's hard for him, but me, I was like, oh, low-key thank god, low-key thank god, you guys, low-key thank god. But honestly, I've had a really good day, and now I'm filming a podcast episode. I feel so productive. Like I said, I've got such a busy week next week because everything I'm doing is either like, well, it's like plans that I've made, but also everything will be going into vlog 300. I don't even know how long that vlog's going to be, because when I did my vlog 200, I made it 2 hours long, but my last two vlogs on their own have been over 2 hours long. My holiday vlog was like 2 hours 14 minutes, and I think my last vlog was 2 hours 22 minutes, which makes me laugh because I'll be filming all of this like stuff, and then I'll go to edit it and I'll be like, wow, I didn't realize I was filming that much. And it's like, girl, how did you not realize you're the one filming it, you know? I was just like, wowza, okay. Also, oh my god, on the tube back to Waterloo, 3 guys got on it, and I sort of looked over and then I looked back at my book, and the one in the middle was really good looking, and then they started speaking to each other about the football, and they had Irish accents. Oh brother, I was like, wowza. So I guess, guy on the tube, if you see this, you're wearing a cap, and you gave off that you had blonde hair from like my vibe, but my vibe, the vibe he gave me, more like, what am I talking about? But then he turned around and he looked like he kind of had a mullet, and it was like brownish. It was like a light mousy brown. It was kind of like my natural hair color, which we will never see for as long as I live, because I don't think I'd ever go back to my natural hair color. I think if I was to ever stop being blonde, I'd go like a really chocolatey brunette, which, oh my god, that does speak to me on a very personal level. But also, don't think there'll ever be a day that I don't want to be blonde, because I've pined for blonde for so long, it just feels wrong to throw it away, you know? I would love, oh my god, I'm literally falling asleep here. I would love to have long, luscious, healthy hair, but the scalp bleach means too much to me, you know? So it stays. Honestly, I can't believe how tired I am. It's actually also because I haven't really had a good night's sleep in a while, because while my mum and dad were in France, I was sleeping in their bedroom, in their bed, not just in their bedroom, stood up like that. But sorry, if you're listening audio, I was just pretending to be like a vampire. Is that vampire or like a dead person? Oh my gosh, don't even start me up. But I've come back to my room and I'm like, wow, my mattress is so uncomfortable. I've been getting really bad back pains, like really fucking bad. And I don't even know, like, just haven't slept well at all. And I keep staying up way too late and then having to wake up early. And that's just never a good idea. Like, in any world, is that a good idea? No. So I am actually very tired today, but it's okay, because I think today we're having homemade pizzas for tea. And yesterday, what did we have? A Chinese. Lenger at the Chinese. There's Lengers everywhere at the moment, and none of them are approaching me. What are we doing? Unless you are, of course, married or in a relationship or gay, like, I get that. But if you're single, Oh my gosh, why can't I stop yawning? This is bad as well. I've got 5 episodes of Love Island to catch up with. Even though, like, I have 5 episodes to catch up with, but I already know everything that's going on because I have TikTok. I actually do think I should delete TikTok, but I also don't think I can. But recently I've been trying really hard to get my screen time down to, like, a respectable amount. Like, I would love for my screen time to be maximum 3 hours, but I'm just, like, chronically on my phone. But that is why I've been reading more. Like, every time I go to reach for my phone, I reach for my book. Or, like, if I get somewhere early, I'll read. If I have a bit of time before I need to go out, I'll read. When I'm laying in the morning, I'll read. Laying at night, I'll read. In the bath, I'll read. Like, every moment that could be filled with me being on my phone, I'm like, oh, I'll just read instead, which is really good because I've been reading a lot of really good books. I've been really into fiction at the moment because I need some escapism because everything makes me anxious. So I thought, I don't want non-fic. I don't want that. Oh my God. Me when I can't stop yawning. But I want some escapism. I want a little bit of something. So I've been reading more fiction, which is why I obviously read Ghosts by Dolly Alderton, now reading Good Material, read Loved One. I actually did feel like I lost someone during reading that book, and after. It had a really big effect on me, which not many books have had recently. Like, I've been reading lots, but, like, no book has really taken me aback and been like, this is going to stay with me for a while. And then I read Loved One and I was like, yeah. And the cover is so good, and it actually, like, relates to the book. It's a pretty cover, and I was like, that's kind of why I wanted to read it. And then the more I thought about, like, the things that happened in the book, and then I looked at the cover, I was like, oh my God, it's so perfectly intertwined. It was so good. Anyway, back to my perfect day. I just can't wait to sit in the bath and read. I'm so tired. Like, my eyes genuinely just keep feeling like they're gonna shut, and that's rude AF. Honestly, as well, going to London, I'm just like, wow, I really do want to move here. Like, I wrote that down in my little hopes and dreams page of my notebook. I was like, oh, I want to move to London. Like, I just feel like I'd be so happy there because I love going there. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously it's the busiest fucking place. Everyone walks slowly, but, like, I don't know, I just feel like it would be good for me. It's like a big change, and, like, I don't know, that is something that is on my, like, goals list, is to move to London. But then I think even if I got a job in London at the moment, more of my priority than moving out would be to travel. So I think if I'm gonna save up the money, I'll travel first and then maybe think about moving out, so that I can save up, like, a good amount of money and not have to worry about, like, wanting to go traveling while I'm, like, stuck in a rent agreement, you know. But renting just sounds like awful. Like, any prices in London sound awful, so it's like you can't really win. I would love to live around Goodge Street, but that is so painfully central. I don't think you're getting a flat for, like, less than maybe £2,000 a month, and that's not what pisses me off. That's not including bills. I don't want to think about, and, like, that's for a 1 bed, so I'm paying for that on my own. Not unless I'm rich. I'm not unless I'm rich. Are we good? You know, I just think no. Anyway, moving back to my Instagram. No, I can't tell if you're in focus. I don't know what this camera's got against me at the moment. Back to my TikTok live. Last night I was on TikTok live for 3 hours, and it was so much fun. I really do enjoy doing a TikTok live because I'm just like, this is just so silly and fun. You know, like, it's like very, oh my gosh, my mum's feeding the dogs, if you can hear all the ruckus. Like, it's very light-hearted, and, like, we just chat, like, oh, Mashy's barking. Someone on the chat in the live was like, oh my gosh, where's Mash? And I was like, oh, Mashy. He refused to come in my bedroom, and I thought, oh, that's a personal attack. That's a personal vendetta he's got against me. Cool. But whatever. And when I tell you, every person from, like, every season of my life was on that live. I'm serious. Annabelle, who does my tattoos, my friend who does my tattoos, she was on it. My cousin Tilly, my cousin Violet, my brother, my brother's friend, a random guy I slept with in 2022, my old Mama So Stitches she was asleep, and she also doesn't have TikTok. My boss from Starbucks, from when I worked at Starbucks when I was 16, and then I was working there when I was 17, and I think when I was 18, and when I was 19. I can't even really remember, but my boss from Starbucks, Who else? My best friend's sister. Who else was on there? Molly, my friend Molly from Cornwall. So many people. Are you in focus, bro? Don't piss me off. So many people. That chat was crazy. Someone asked me if, oh my god, what did someone ask me? I can't even remember. The person that said I was making up comments heard me speaking about a book that people have been saying, this book Lost Lambs. I've not read it, but I was like, oh, the cover looks cute, and then someone was like, it's so obviously racist and has like anti-Muslim propaganda in it. And so I was like, oh, has anyone read this book? Apparently, like, it's like very racist, you know, Islamophobic. And then someone was like, oh, you're Islamophobic? And I was like, where did you pull that from? Like, did you just pull that from your ass? Genuine question. Did you just pull that from your ass? Because what the fuck are you on about? No, I'm not. I literally was there like, what is going on? Who else was in that live? Genuinely everyone was in that. I was speaking to that live for so long, and we really did cover everything. We spoke about really bad sex stories that I've had, because when I tell you I have the worst luck with men, every single interaction I have with one makes me question my life a little bit more. Like, it's just terrible. It's just simply terrible. Anyway, and then this guy was really putting in a shift saying that I was his type, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, like, that's so kind. And then he really was like, no, genuinely, you're my type. He was in the chat for so long. He said about me DMing him, he was like, my DMs are open. And I said, no, mate. I was like, if you want to try and pursue me, you have to message me. And then he's taken like so long to reply, but also, like, realistically, did I think I was going to find my soulmate on TikTok live? No, I've met my soulmate. That's Lara Rice, bitch. But like, come on now, what are we doing? What are we doing? But it was crazy. It was a crazy live. And oh my gosh, I love my girls. Honestly, speaking to my girls just cheers me up. And I've been having such lovely messages at the moment about people saying about my vlogs helping them. Like, I think a lot of people who watch my videos are in uni, so they'll be like, oh, it's like I watch it when I'm getting ready for uni, or like if I'm lonely or whatever. And that just means so much to me, because when I make the vlogs, I'm like, oh my god, genuinely, who's gonna watch this? Like, and not just that, but like, who's gonna watch 2 hours of this? And it's like I have this amazing community of people who actually do, and it makes me like genuinely emotional, because I feel so grateful, because this is always what I've loved doing, and it's like a form of therapy for me. Like, when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling anxious, just talking to the camera about it, like, it's just kind of a way to get stuff out, isn't it? And then having other people message me and be like, oh, I feel the same, or I relate, like, it's such a nice feeling to know I'm not alone. Obviously, I don't want anyone else to feel like shit, but like, there are some things that inevitably, like, loads of people go through, like, you know, anxiety, breakups, whatever. So the live was so good. I was also speaking about how a couple of, like, maybe last week, was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. I can't even really remember, but this guy on TikTok messaged me because I'd liked his video because it came up on my For You page. So he liked one of mine and he commented on it, and then he followed me. So I followed him back, and the comment that he left on my video was about Hinge. And so I liked it, and I was like, oh, it's rough out here. And so he messaged me on TikTok and was like, oh, if Hinge doesn't work out for you, like, he said something like, hey, Maisie Supreme, love your vibe. If Hinge doesn't work out for you, like, we should go on a date. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, oh my God, meet cute. Like, we've met on my For You page. Awesome. And so we start speaking on Instagram, and he started liking a few more of my videos, and he liked the video where I spoke about how I bought a skirt that's a size 12, but I couldn't fit in it because, like, my belly was just too big, and also, like, I'm just too wide. I was like, it just doesn't fit. And he was like, you're so my type. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I love when people say that to me, because then I'm like, well, what's your type? And I want to see how many compliments they can give me. That's a fun little game. And he was like, I don't know, the vibe, the hair, the tattoos. He was like, I also love the fact that you're I can't even remember how he worded it. He was like, I don't like skinny girls. He was like, I like sort of like a mid-sized girl or like a bigger girl. And I was like, okay, by the way, you didn't have to say that to me. And don't get me wrong, like, obviously, very luckily, I'm very comfortable with the size I am, and I do genuinely believe that what's going on in the media and what's going on with a lot of female celebrities is very concerning, and like the rise of Ozempic and how easy it is to access, and like just the culture around eating in general and like disordered eating. I just think it's something that people shy away from, but it's something that needs to be spoken about because it's very dangerous and it's very unhealthy. So I know that I'm okay with my body because I've always been not bigger, because I'm like, I'm a 12 or a 14, normally 12 at the top, 14 at the bottom, but I'm always like a large in things because I've got big boobs, I've got long legs, I've got wide hips, I've got broad shoulders, I've got big hands. I'm a hand model now as well, by the way, just random. Jewelers messaged me, they said, do you want to be a hand model? I said, I've never done it before, but sure. They said, you've got great hands, you'll be fine. I said, thank you very much. And then they said, come in for a chat. I went in for a chat. They said, do you want to be a hand model? I said, yeah, sure, why not? And they said that I could wear the more funky engagement rings because it fits my vibe. I said, oh my gosh, thank you very much. Anyway, so being skinny has never really been anything that I was. Like, I've never been big, and I wouldn't say I'm obese or overweight or fat or anything like that, but I've got meat on my bones, you know, I've got a tummy. And he said that, he was like, I like the fact that you've got a tummy. And I was like, what? Okay. Like, genuinely, when men say that, I'm like, what did you expect me to say to that? Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm glad I've got a tummy, like, I'm glad I've got meat on my bones, I've got back rolls, like, there's nothing like skinny to me. I'm not petite as a person. I've also got, just like in general, very big features. I've got a big face, I've got a big nose, obviously big boobs, big hands, big feet, everything. Like, I am like quite a big person, and my personality is fucking huge, like, but I was just like, oh my God, imagine saying that to a girl that doesn't feel secure in her body. And then it really got me speaking about like body image issues and stuff on live. And I was like, the least, wait, what am I trying to say? Your body is the least interesting thing about you. And if someone ever makes you feel different, like, fuck them, because honestly, it is the least interesting thing about you. Like, if someone like has beef with me over my body, I'm just literally going to tell you plain and simply to get a life, because that is so weird. And I think bring back eating, bring back empathy, bring back being kind, like, bring back thinking also, like, majorly, bring back very underdeveloped technology, bring back no billionaires or trillionaires in the world. Let's bring all these things back. Let's normalize all of these things, okay? Because I'm sick to death of it. But honestly, I just thought, these people, like, don't get me wrong, obviously everyone's got a preference with body type. Like, some people like a guy that's a bit bigger, some people like a really lean and fit and muscular guy. But like, it is a crazy thing to say. Anyway, in the end, we spoke on the phone for a little bit, and he said that he thought he could work me out, and that like I was really standoffish and rude and sarcastic, but underneath, like, I was sensitive and I have all these layers. And he made a joke, and then he was like, oh, I shouldn't say that, and I was like, oh, like, I don't care, whatever. And then he said, what should we do for a first date? He also asked me to come to Spain with him. We hadn't even met yet. It'd been a day since we started speaking. He said, would you come to Spain with me for the end of the month? And I was like, oh, haha, don't tempt me. And he was like, no, I'm actually being serious. And I was like, oh my gosh. But obviously I didn't go, thank Gouda. But he said to me, like, I can't remember, he was like, what should we do for our first date? And I said, I made a joke. It was a joke as well, by the way, so please don't get this confused. I made a joke and I said, I don't know, you're the man. And he was like, nah, that's such an ick, don't rate that, like, gender roles in the big 2026. And I literally was like, oh my God, that was a joke, like, what are you talking about? And also, like, are you incapable of planning a date? Because that's not me saying that the man always has to plan a date. Like, don't get me wrong, I could plan a date if I wanted to plan a date, but I don't want to plan a date, so I'm not going to. And then hung up, said we were going to meet up the following weekend. Then he deactivated his Instagram, I'm pretty sure, or he blocked me. And so I unfollowed him on TikTok. And then the next thing I saw was that he reposted this thing being like, all women are evil at the moment, like, women have evil intentions, no one actually wants anything serious. And I thought, oh my God, you spoke to me on the phone for like 20 minutes and then you thought, oh yeah, women are evil, my work here is done, thank you very much. I just thought, don't piss me off. Honestly, there were so many nails in the coffin for me when it came to why this camera is trying to test me today. There were so many nails in the coffin about why I deleted Hinge and stuff. Mainly because men are so disrespectful on those apps. Like, they are just disgusting, and no man has ever had any interest in like actually taking me on a date. They all just have interest in sleeping with me, which is fine, but then don't lie. Like, the first thing I saw this guy like me, he was not my typical type, but he was like handsome, whatever. This is obviously before I deleted it. And he said like the one thing I ask you is to not say how are you or like how you doing, like the first sentence that you typed to me, because he was like, how is that the first thing you want to know about me? Like, you could ask any question and that's the first thing you want to know. You want to know how I'm doing. So I said to him, what's the first question you want to ask me? And he said, what do you taste like? I said, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. He was like, nah, joking. First question is, how are you still single? And then I said, guess. And he put, I guess you're a headache. I said, oh, charming. And then I've spoke about this in my vlogs, but like the influx of men going to me, I genuinely think I had back to back like 7 or 8 men say to me, you look like trouble, or like, you look like you could get me into trouble, you look like trouble. And then every single time I'd say, if I matched with them, I'd say, why, what about me looks like trouble? And they'd be like, I don't know, maybe it's that look in your eye, maybe I'm a bit scared of you, which, don't get me wrong, I love when a man says that. If a man sends me a like saying I'm scared of you, I want to match with you just out of principle of you being scared of me. But then I'm like, no, I don't want to match with you because what the fuck are we doing? But genuinely, what do you mean? Oh, you look like trouble. Hey, trouble. No, don't get me wrong. If I had a boyfriend that I was like happy with and he was like sexy AF and he was like, hey, trouble, I would be like, okay, pull your pants down. But you don't know me. Oh, hey, trouble. And then this other guy messaged me. He liked me. I matched with him. He was 32. He lived in London. And he said to me, you look like trouble. And then he said something like, trouble is fun. And I said, oh my God, shut up. Anyway, he asked me what I would do for a first date. And I said, I don't really plan many first dates. And he was like, oh, you don't go on first dates? I was like, no, not really, because no man wants to take me out. But also, like, if I am going out on a first date, I'm not really going to plan it, am I? Like, I'll say to you, oh, let's meet here. But if I'm asking the man out, then why can't you plan the date? Like, it's not hard. Just book a fucking table somewhere, suggest a pub, suggest a walk. Like, there's so many simple things you can do for a first date. Anyway, so I was like, oh, charity shopping in a pub, because he said on his profile, he was like, tell me your favorite album, book and film. And I was like, okay, this guy's got something to him. So we're speaking about that, and I was like, oh, near me there's a charity shop that's like just everything is just books, CDs, records and DVDs. So I was like, I'd probably say that and then a pub. And he was like, that sounds good. He was like, you could always come to me as well. And I was like, yeah, And then he put, wait, you're 24? He put, hang on, you're 24? And I said, yeah, why? Is that a bad thing? And he put, just typically younger than I'd go for. And I thought to myself, you know what's so funny about that is when you sign up to Hinge, you have to put your age range in. So you have included 24-year-olds in your age range, and they're either the youngest age you'll go or there's younger, because that's the only 2 options. And I thought, so if this is younger than you typically go for, why have you not changed your age range to like 30 plus? I don't know what your age range is. Like, I think my age range was like 22 to 40. But that's gone now. Say bye-bye. But I was just thinking to myself, who are you, genuinely? And like, the more I've spoken to men, the more I'm just terrified. And then I watched Obsession with Tilly at the cinema. And I also watched Backrooms, and I saw someone say like, this genre of horror is men wanting something and not giving a fuck about whose life it affects and throwing everyone into the shit with them. And it's a very interesting genre of film, and I think it, like, so many men will miss the point and realize that this is a narration on male behavior, misogynistic behavior. And I just think to myself, I actually just can't think of anything worse than being around a man right now. And that is why, like, I said in my last podcast episode that I'm locking in, but genuinely I felt so much better for it, because I don't want to be around anyone. I feel like it drains my energy, and every time I've met up with a man or I've seen a man or whatever, like interacted with one, it takes like a few days for me to bounce back again. And when I was on Hinge, I was, oh my God, I was genuinely juggling like 8 different men, and it was awful. And then you'd start speaking to them over like WhatsApp or something, and then some of them would say something to piss me off, so I archived their chats. I put them in archive prison, or like I'd get ghosted, or I'd like actually fully arrange a date with someone and then they just wouldn't reply to me. And I thought, why am I wasting my time doing this when I could literally be doing anything else? I could be reading, I could be catching up on Love Island, I could be going to the library, I could be going to the cinema, I could be doing genuinely anything else, and I'm doing this. Are you mental? So I just feel like I'm in a better place in that respect, and I'm just sort of like, if it happens, like if I met someone, fine, cool. If someone asks me out, fine, cool. But I feel like dating is so different now that I'm older, because the last time I was like dating or single properly was when I was 20, and I'm now 24. Which is kind of the same as like when I reflect back on these vlogs, like so much has changed for like the seasons of my life. Like I really okay, I'm landslide, but the seasons of my life, like it's changed and adapted so much. I started my vlogs when I was 19, right? I started them in February 2021. So there was still kind of a lockdown. I was brunette, just dropped out of uni, no job. And then since then, I've had countless hospitality jobs, you know, a boyfriend, split up with my boyfriend, got back with my boyfriend. He moved away. I've had like trips abroad, my friends and like people that I've been friends with and then I'm not friends with anymore, and then people I've rekindled with, new friends, new jobs, new people, new everything, new hair colours, new like styles, new tattoos, new piercings, new everything. Like my whole life is crazy. It's like from the last almost it's 5 years, it'll be 6 years next year, which is mental, has been documented online, which is crazy. And now it's like putting the time into my vlogs has obviously really paid off, because it feels like a really nice steady growth. And it would be like, I always say, it would be like amazing to do this as a job. But it's like, you know, I get to see my whole life. I can watch it all back, and it's like, it's such a nice feeling to be able to have that. But it's also just like, it's crazy the idea that I've got 300 vlogs out there, and like along the way it's grown. And there's like, when I was on live yesterday, someone was like, I've been here since women can't drive, which was in I think she said she's been here since women can drive. I can't remember, but someone said that they've been here since my uni videos, which was obviously before I even started these vlogs, because I had videos out before, and then I started vlogging because I liked Cody Ko's like short format vlogs, which obviously now bum, but like he used to do like vlogs where he would literally just film his day and then put it together in like a 4 or 5 minute vlog. So my vlog started out as like 5 minutes long or like 4 minutes long, and then like the evolution of this vlog thing, but like now they're 2 hours long, they're 2 hours 22 minutes long. Like that is the length of a film. That is longer than a lot of films are. Well, not enough films are shorter than that, but you know what I mean. Like it's crazy. Like that, my last vlog was almost the same duration as Disclosure Day, which I went to see the other day, and I wasn't a huge fan of. I thought it was okay, but like I feel like alien films are kind of wasted on me. I haven't even seen E.T. I'm actually seeing that this month with Lara. I actually have so much planned this month. I have Harry Styles. I have loads of cinema trips booked in. I have a couple of dinners. I haven't seen Alan in a while. I'm seeing him on Tuesday. Like, obviously vlog 300. And I do very much feel like I'm very grateful for where I am. And it's been 5 months now that I've been single, which is still hard to believe. I think the other day when I finished Loved One, I really started reflecting on my last relationship, which is probably what got me down a bit, because I was like, oh my god, like where did it all go so wrong? But I also think about the fact that when I got broken up with, I knew that the relationship needed to end, but I was not willing to do it myself because I was so scared. And then even though I knew that, and in the back of my head that was always there, I knew that I didn't want to move in with him, I knew that we wouldn't get married, I knew we wouldn't have children, like I knew that was never going to happen. But yeah, when he broke up with me, it was still such a shock, and it was so unbelievably hard for me to comprehend that he'd split up with me. I could just not wrap my head around it. I know that sounds insane, but well, it is insane, because what do you mean? Like, you knew that the relationship was bad, but honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy, but you know what, better for it. I'm feeling good. Like, and also some days I get to the point where I think that I can start like being less angry and like kind of wish him well, because sometimes I do wonder, like maybe he has a new girlfriend, or like maybe he's seeing someone, and if he is, like, good on him. Okay, let's just say that, good on him. And like, you know, there are still things I'm angry about, and there'll be days that I'm like, oh, I wish him the best, and I hope he gets everything he wants, and I hope like his life's not terrible. And then there's other days that I think about some of the bullshit that I put up with in that relationship. I'm no angel, I'm not perfect, okay? And a lot of men have clocked onto that, okay? Every man, oh, crazy, you're a crazy girl. No, you don't understand, I'm clinically insane. But you know, there are days that I'm like, oh my god, how did I tolerate that? Or like, how did that happen to me? Or like, why did I let that happen? Why did I stay? But you know what? That relationship really was a massive learning curve. Curve? What is that saying? Learning curve? Learning curve. Yeah, like the H song, right? Learning curve, like the H song. Yes! I don't know, but it did teach me a lot, which is good. And I'm probably better off for it, even though like 3 years is crazy. But, you know, I just feel like I have a lot, like I think at the moment I have a lot of motivation. I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I'm in a good headspace to try and get them done. Like predominantly the main thing is that I really want to move to London. Like when I was in London today, I was like, oh, I just want to stay. I want to have a nice little flat, and I want to, you know, I don't know. I don't want to live my London life. I want to live my lush life by Zara Larsson. But honestly, yeah, I think at the moment I'm just really trying to not have a panic attack every day. I don't have them that often because normally if I feel anxious, I just put myself to bed, which is always the best way about it. Obviously, the World Cup is on. I don't really know anything about football, but I also would love to play football. I'm also thinking about getting into new hobbies. I really want to do like boxing so that I could throw a punch if I needed to, or maybe if I just wanted to, because that would be me as well. And what else? I'd love to draw, but I can't draw. I'd love to speak another language, but I can't do that either. But I think if I was to learn another language, it would probably be Spanish, because that's the most knowledge I have of a language that isn't English. But then I also think maybe French, because I would love to move to Paris at some point. This is the thing. This is why I had to write all of this stuff down, because this is just my brain 24/7. Honestly, I cannot wait for that medication review so I can say to him, please up the ante on these drugs, because I ain't feeling anything. My brain is still scrambled. I have no idea what I'm doing. My skin is terrible at the moment. I had that crater on my face the last time I filmed a podcast episode. That's gone away. Thank Gouda. That's gone away, because it was really fucking bad. It was, oh my gosh, it was disgusting. But what can you do? What can you do? But then even though I was like, that spot is like a real wake up call that I need to stop picking my face, that it's like not good for me. It doesn't make me happy. It makes me like upset and like whatever. I just kept picking everywhere else, and then I started picking my chest because I don't know, but it's when I'm anxious or like I just feel like I need something to do, I'll just start picking, which again is why I keep saying I need like a stress toy, but I haven't got one. I need to get one. I also need to plan my birthday, because that's less than 3 months away, bitch. The countdown is well and truly on. What is everyone getting me for my birthday? This is going to be my first birthday without a boyfriend. Oh my gosh. Me when I'm Dudley from Harry Potter, counting my presents. I'm joking. But that is like my love language. My love language is like giving gifts, and like, oh my God, like I don't play about a birthday. I do not play about my birthday. I don't play about my birthday. I don't play about anyone else's birthday. Like my ex-boyfriend, always a huge like affair, ordeal. My mum's birthday, Lara's birthday, like I don't come to play when it comes about birthdays, when it comes to birthdays. But honestly, I think I'm feeling pretty good. I think summer will be good. Summer is a weird time because I hate the winter, so then I feel like I put a lot of pressure on summer, and then I feel like I have to do loads of stuff. I would love to go on another trip. I really want to go to Norway, but that requires money, which I do not have. But I'll get that money up. I'll get that AdSense money. I'll get that Vinted money. I'll get that shit Laurie Steve Poogan money. Like, you do not need to worry about me. And that's all there is to it. Also, last but not least, this is something I forgot about my live, but really made me laugh. Someone came on it and said, you look dehydrated. That's all she said. So I thought to myself, okay, she actually either genuinely thinks I look dehydrated or she's just trying to troll me. So I click on her profile. It says follow back. I'm thinking, oh, so she actually follows me. So I just take it like, oh. I'm like, oh, do I? Like, oh, to be fair, I haven't drank much water today. Thank you. Like, I'm going to drink some water. And she said, yeah, go rehydrate yourself. And I thought, oh, she actually is looking out for me. And then she left and didn't say anything else. I thought, wow. That's very kind. Honestly, I need to get back on my bullshit. I need to get back on my smoothie grind, because I've been eating Oreo cheesecake every hour of the day recently. Like, I am Tubby Lumpkins. I said that to Tilly the other day, and now we cannot stop saying it. Tubby Lumpkins, you will always be famous to me. So funny. Very out of pocket name to call someone, but you can call it to yourself. Like, I am Tubby Lumpkins, and what? Also, I really thought I was going to get into my ordeal with the 30-year-old man that I thought I was in love with, but I feel like I've had so much to catch up on, because obviously I didn't do an episode last week, because also sometimes it just feels like I do not know what to speak about. And that's when I'm like, oh, I get why people do podcasts with two people, because you need someone to bounce off of. So I'm there messaging Tilly like, Tilly, please can you film a podcast with me? No, my boyfriend's coming round. What the fuck do you mean? Your boyfriend? He ain't been there since day one. I was there when you were born, bitch. Anyway, it's actually just like there's so much drama with this bloody family, not between me and Tilly, but like don't even get me started. Tilly's had this whole ordeal. She lost her Fontaine's DC shirt, which we got when we were in Manchester when we went to see them, and she thought my nana gave it to the charity shop. It was this huge thing. It's been missing for months. It was in the airing cupboard. Like, genuinely, you cannot make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, genuinely. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off now. I've had an absolute lovely chat with you all, and I've just had the absolute nicest day, and I'm gonna end it with a bath. Well, not like that. Oh my gosh. Like the day, not my life. And before my bath, I'm going to have a pizza. I'm going to have a homemade pizza. And guess what my topping's going to be? Just pineapple. And if you have a problem with that, take it up with God. Don't take it up with me, because pineapple does belong on pizza. And that is as simple as it gets. Hinge prompt. Change my mind about pineapple on pizza. Change my mind about me telling you to fuck off. Anyway.